Hello everyone, it is your boy, God of the Car here, and welcome to another Cause Thoughts. And for this one, I want to talk about how ADHD isn't really good for the content creation meta. And here's why. So, as of recently, you have noticed that my Magic the Gathering related videos do get a lot more views than my average video. So you'd think that I'd try to be pumping out more of those kinds of videos, right? Well, sometimes I don't want to be honest, and I have more interests that isn't Magic. And even then, I have way more interests that aren't, well, TTRPGs either. TTRPGs are actually a extremely recent fixation that I have obtained throughout my years. And honestly, my first ever fixation ever was actually TCGs. And not Magic either, actually. My first ever TCG that I have ever had a fixation on, if I remember right, is Bakugan, the original one, actually. And want to know why that is? Because of the TV show. And sure, haven't been able to play all of these various TCGs that I have experienced with other people, but I still grew up with them in a sense due to the shows advertising how to play them, and watching them being played is very enjoyable. So that's why, if you have been seeing my X feed as of late, it's mostly talking about TCG related stuff, especially my more recent amalgamation project where I tried to merge every TCG that I have experienced in my life into one game. It's most likely not going to be marketed as a TCG, but more like a game with TCG elements in a way, but we'll figure that whole mess out in the future. I'm still developing it now. It's currently going by the name Proxy War. Yeah, Proxy War. It's currently going by that name, and so far, interesting card pool so far, I won't lie, and still work in progress. The point being, though, my fixation on that, due to my ADHD, has drawn me away from working on Project D100 Fantasy. And I know that a lot of people also liked me talking about that too, which is why my ADHD tends to draw me away from things that people like and more what I like. And when it comes to YouTube content creation, I might make a video that most people will not like. Heck, you know my Let's Play channel? Yeah, that isn't popular at all. The Let's Play videos that used to be hosted on this channel were not popular, so I just moved them to a different channel where, at this point, I will just be uploading onto there whenever I feel like at this point, because I'm already getting a fixation on this project, Proxy Wars, right now. This is mainly why I don't try to make YouTube my main financial source. If I am able to, then awesome, but right now it's just not in the cards due to A, I have a actual job, and B, I want to actually have fun making YouTube, and if I have to make YouTube a job, and if my ADHD makes me fixate on something that isn't YouTube, then I'm kind of busted at that point, because you get it, right? It's my brain, when it comes to creative things, likes to do what it wants and not what other people want, if I'm gonna be honest. Now, I bet a few of you are disappointed that I'm, at worst, not going to be working on Project D100 Fantasy anymore. Or at best, I'm just taking an extended break, just piecing out what I'm currently fixated on, which I hope it's just that for your guys' sake. But for me, knowing my history with the genre of trading card games, this might be a fixation that I will be latching onto for a while. So, any new Project D100 Fantasy updates might not happen for a while due to my current hyper fixation. I'm currently working on the attack cards for Proxy Wars right now, and as I am going through it, sort of like skimming a lot of the rules and just shifting things over and over until it becomes a game that's relatively playable, but also at the same time pretty fast pace, so that people can actually play these like games as fast, which is actually another thing why I kind of like these kinds of like trading card game genre things better, is because you only have to worry about one game at a time. And this might suck for a lot of my TTRPG fans out there, but if I'm gonna be frank, a lot of my issues with TTRPGs in the past is A, having IRL people to play with on a constant basis, and B, the time it takes to be able to finish a game of either Dungeons and Dragons or Fabula Ultima. I like the systems and the mechanics that they employ. The only problem is games take way too long, and people like me with ADHD and all of that bullshit just aren't able to wrap our heads around being able to keep a game going, which honestly I tried to keep a game going for like a couple of months at least. And that is in total play time, not to mention the weeks on end of like not playing, which honestly people online have their IRL obligations. That's fair, but at the same time, I was so dedicated that I felt like not a lot of people had that same dedication as me, which is why the Overlord Overthrow campaign sort of, fizzled. No one was really interested in the campaign. They were mostly there because of one player, and if that player left, then the rest were like, we're just gonna fuck off, I guess. So, yeah. what was I going with this? Oh yes, this whole video has been a ramble of like back and forth thoughts, which is why ADHD isn't good for YouTube, because I have a lot of things that I just said that have like little to no like, connection, except because they all tie into how ADHD, like mine, doesn't allow for me to be able to make the videos that everyone in my audience will be able to like and like to be able to watch as like often. So yeah, ADHD, it's not good for YouTube. With all that said, I hope you watched up to this point. Please leave a like and comment ADHD so that I know you made it all the way through. This is God of Ka, signing off.